Sometimes an actor can get so into character that they end up adding new shades to the script that weren't present on the page. Training Day was released in September 2001, but when you read the April 2001 draft of the screenplay, you can really see just how much dialogue was improvised between the two leads. They hit all the key notes in David Ayer's script, but the dialogue flows in unexpected directions, leading to many of the movie's most iconic moments. Director Antoine Fuqua was still early in his career, having only directed 2 movies before Training Day came along. And suddenly he was working with one of the biggest movie stars in the world, so he was nervous, and he would often marvel at his actor's delivery so much that he would even forget to call cut.
And I would sit on an apple box and I would forget to yell cut sometimes. I would just sit there and Denzel would turn around and start smiling and goes, "You gonna yell cut?" And I was like, "Oh yeah."
Before 2001, Denzel had made a huge name for himself in star-making performances such as Glory, Malcolm X, Philadelphia, Crimson Tide, and Remember the Titans. Although he usually played the hero, it was now, at the age of 47, that he would finally take on a villain, in a role that would rightly earn him his first Best Actor Oscar. Washington is a different kind of actor. He elevates any movie he's in because he brings something unique to the table. Presence. You feel his performance pressing through the screen in a way other actors can't quite manage. And although there are many shining aspects to this performance, such as his overly confident strut and his intense use of eye contact, the most interesting details are what he unexpectedly ad-libbed on the day.
We improvised a lot. The bones of it were there, but I just realized, and I kept developing, and then Antoine encouraged, he said, "Man, some of the stuff you make up is the best stuff."
So let's take a deeper look at Denzel Washington's largely improvised performance as Detective Alonzo Harris in Training Day. We'll start with the notorious coffee shop scene, where the 2 main characters are introduced to each other. Alonzo is clearly the one holding all the power, and makes Jake earn his approval by demanding he tells him a story to entertain him. The script reads, "Where'd you do your probation? Van Nuys. Right, the Valley. No cute little anecdotes about riding underage smoking cities at the shopping mall?" Jake thinks, bingo, he's got it. "There was this DUI stop." "A DUI stop? Wow. Go on." But in the final version of the movie, this entire opening gets cut. We just start the story.
"Well, there was a DUI stop."
A DUI stop? Wow, let me load up my guns. A DUI? Oh, shit.
Now here we can see that Denzel has taken the plainer "a DUI stop, wow, go on," and turned it into a much bigger reaction, where he's taking the subtle essence of being sarcastic and disinterested and turning it up to be even more condescending with this aggressive smile. But by adding this clap of the guns, as he says, "Let me load up my guns," he's stealing all the limelight away from the co-star his character is belittling. He's dominating him. Then the script continues. "We were on the mid-watch. We, you and Debbie." "Debbie? The hell is Debbie?" "My training officer, Debbie Maxwell." "Your TO was female?" "Yes, sir." "She white, black, white." But in the precise area the script jumps over, wanting the dialogue to read smooth and fast on the page, Denzel inserts a new reaction to add texture to his character's casual sexism.
You got a female training officer?
"Yes, sir."
Okay. All right. So what was she, black, white?
"She was white."
So we can see that Washington is taking what's on the page and adding flavor. He's making it feel more alive by expressing much bigger reactions and more attitude. He's not just disinterested in a DUI, now he's tapping his guns together to belittle it. He's not just intrigued by the details of his female training officer, now he's setting the tone of how we're going to objectify her. Then the script just has Alonzo ask him to proceed, "So you and Debbie are pulling a mid-watch," and Jake continues his long story uninterrupted. It all reads fine. As a reader, we're getting what we need from this exchange, but nothing more. Whereas Denzel ad-libs this little detail to throw him off.
"So it was a real quiet night."
Boom! You never know, that's the point. Go.
not only does this edition set up what we can expect from his character moving forward, that he will be throwing curveballs at Jake that disrupt normal proceedings, but it's jarring, as we, just like Jake, can't tell if he's joking around or serious, as he's simultaneously playing the funny guy and the boss who needs to be won over. Even his body language has his hands clasped together like he's evaluating his student, jumping back and forth between overshadowing and assessing. Then the script closes the scene pretty plainly, after Alonzo asks Jake why he didn't sleep with Debbie. "I have a wife, you also have a dick." Alonzo shakes his head in disgust, Jake is crushed. "Let's go." Alonzo tosses a 50 on the table. Off his heavy wedding band, we cut to them crossing the street. But instead, Denzel finds a much more fun way to end the scene. He asks Jake if he has a dick, and then...
To the right of it and to the left of it are pockets, right? In those pockets are money. Look in either one of them, pay the bill.
So instead of just seeing his wedding ring, Alonzo makes Jake pay for the privilege of being belittled. And by pounding the table, once again, Denzel is grabbing our attention and asserting his character's dominance. Throughout this introductory scene, with these big aggressive movements and random interruptions, we now can't take our eyes off him, as everything he's doing is unexpected. The actor is clearly fully in character. If Alonzo doesn't follow the rules of the police force, then Denzel won't follow the script either. Improvisation is an art. It's not just tossing in any old random details that spring to mind, as if you look at the larger picture of what he's delivering, they consistently serve a purpose that flesh out his character. For example, as they drive, Alonzo warns Jake about not showing any weakness or the streets will chew him up and spit him out. But Denzel improvises this extra advice about never wearing his wedding ring to work again. This is a great addition, as it's subtly distancing Jake from his own identity and values, which makes him more primed to be manipulated, which we later discover is Alonzo's goal throughout the story. On top of that, Denzel intentionally displays a confident strut to show his character believes he's above the law, and therefore everyone and everything belongs to him. He further underlines this instinct by adding into the script that Alonzo has a habit of just taking whatever he wants. For instance, when he walks through a party and sees a girl he likes, he doesn't just pass by, he touches her and improvises the throwaway line, "All that jello and no toast." Without asking, he just nonchalantly helps himself to some of their red wine, even though these men appear to openly hate him, a habit he continues into the next scene with his friend Roger. The script does include Alonzo's philosophy of needing to be a wolf to catch a wolf, which is a great line, and moments later, to rope Jake onto his side, he points out that Jake also broke procedure by applying an illegal chokehold while protecting a young girl. "That the chokehold I saw you applying? Isn't that a big no-no, procedure boy?" "Well, I was getting my ass kicked." "You did what you had to do." Alonzo gives Jake a beer and grins at him like a proud dad. Nothing wrong with it. But how does Denzel further cement this lesson and link it back to his earlier philosophy of needing to be a wolf to catch a wolf?
Ooh! So the wolf does. You a wolf?
And then the scene playfully continues, with Denzel critiquing his co-star's howl as sounding too much like a rooster instead of a wolf. This back and forth style makes the pace of the movie feel so much more electric. Without this improvised howl, the scene is fine but flat, but with it, it jumps not just out of the page, but off the screen. It feels real, as Denzel is giving us constant off-the-cuff dialogue that can be quoted for years to come. If we look at the scene where Jake rescues a girl from two crack addicts, Denzel fixes his jacket like his character always does during his confident stride. He then pins one of the crackheads against the fence. The script reads, "He steers crackhead one to a wall, cocks his fist. Ain't the first honey y'all pinned to a wall, huh? Close your eyes." Crackhead one does. Alonzo knees his groin. Oof. He falls to the ground, whimpers in the fetal position. "Lucky I got pressing business. Next time I cut your dick off and shove it up your ass. I'll leave you three alone for some quality time. Gonna grab some beer." Alonzo gets in the car, backs out of the alley. Jake watches Crackhead 1 whimper, Crackhead 2 writhes in the gutter. It's futile to beat these men. Jake takes pity, walks away. So we certainly get an impression of the scene. Alonzo enters, doesn't arrest any of them, throws a knee to one of their groins, and leaves. But Denzel adds a full minute and 15 seconds of unscripted action that highlights how invincible the character feels and how much delight he takes in dishing out punishment. He takes out a knife and holds it up to the crackhead so he squirms, then chuckles to himself and tells him to turn around, repeatedly asking him if he likes to assault young girls, if that's his MO, if that's what he likes to do. As the criminal lies, he pops him in the face. He then whips out both his pistols, so the guns he improvised grabbing earlier in the coffee shop are now making a reappearance. The original script wasn't bad, it did the job, but Washington's additions make this a much more intense exchange, where the threats keep escalating from knife to, while his ad-libbed dialogue gets more and more combative. He makes Alonzo irreverent in the face of violence, like he's playing with his food. We see the same attitude later when Jake is in a shootout with him, and between blasting his shotgun, Denzel sets an eerie tone to proceedings by introducing this off-the-cuff taunt.
Oh where has my little Jake gone? Oh where can he be?
The most famous scene of the movie is right near the end, when Jake has Alonzo caught, so he desperately offers money to the local community to take out his rookie. But he finds out that this community are not as corrupt as he is. Now the script only details, that's right, I'll burn this down, take it all down, walk away, see what happens. No one listens. Alonzo has been abandoned, save for the gangsters guarding him. He despairs in his defeat. That's it. But for anyone who's seen the movie, they know that's far from the full scene. This is Denzel's Oscar moment. He brilliantly improvises so many quotable lines in this final rant, while constantly shouting for Jake to come back.
Jake! 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 Come back here!
Which adds a layer of desperation to it. Out of nowhere, he comes up with, "Oh, you mother effers. Ha ha ha, okay, alright, I'm putting cases on all you bitches. I run shit here, you just live here, and King Kong ain't got shit on me."
King Kong ain't got nothing on me. It just came out of him. We were there.
That was not on the page?
No. We were there that night. He gets so into the zone. He's in the moment. Mm-hmm. And he did it, and it was so powerful. He walked over to me and goes, "I don't know where that came from." He said, "I hope you got it," because that was it.
It's hard to imagine this movie without this scene. It's a total masterclass, as instead of just simply telling us that he despairs in his defeat, Denzel shows us with this epic meltdown. How he tries to drown out his fears of what comes next by spitting out an egotistical rant about how powerful he is, how he can't be beaten, when in reality, he just lost.
I'll have what she's having. Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
Audiences get a real kick out of a memorable improvised line, but it's usually just that, a line or a brief moment. Whereas when it comes to Denzel in Training Day, he just absorbed the original script and then fired out whatever felt natural, embodying the character's psyche so much that anything he ad-libbed felt consistent, raw, and honest. And that's why this dark turn of a performance will always be held up as one of the most unexpected highlights in Washington's storied career, as he didn't just play Alonzo Harris, he became him, and that allowed him to essentially improvise all of your favorite lines. Well, if you've made it this far, firstly, thank you for watching, but if you could now give the video a like, possibly even leave a comment and click on that subscribe button, it will encourage that mysterious algorithm to do its thing.